So this is Fasi, and today we are going to talk about the jobs market. The reason why we want to do this is in last 2 3 months we have been receiving a lot of calls, lot of emails, lot of text messages, WhatsApp messages, group messages. Everyone is worried about the job market, and definitely the job market is not good. Things might be different in US versus India versus some other country like Gulf countries, European countries, but overall across the globe, the jobs market is not good. Because we are recording this, we are I'm just giving one disclaimer. If in future, if someone is watching this video, most of this conversation is related to August 2024 or fall of 2024, pre-fall of 2024. Things might change in 6 months, things might change in 1 year. So I just wanted to have a small disclaimer if people are watching this in future. So let's get started. All right. So jobs market right now in 2024, is it too bad, a little bit bad, or worst? Is this a recession? Is it going to get better? So these are the questions people have, and even maybe I cannot answer all the questions, but I'll try to address these questions and what the job seekers have to do. And maybe we have to mute the other participants. Okay. All right. I did. All right.
Yes, I say it.
So is it going to get better soon? Is it going to get better worse? And what we have to do right now, what we have to plan, these are the questions everyone have, and together we can address these questions. And let's see one by one. First of all, is it too bad? I'm thinking my observation based on the previous recessions and slowness, it is not too bad. That's what I know. Little bit bad, yes, it is little bit bad, and it is not worst right now, but it might get worst. We don't know, because today itself we were just looking at some news. Looks like $1 trillion have been wiped off from the market because many of the companies have gained the losses. So anything can happen any day, all of a sudden, we don't know. And the second question everyone was having is this a recession? In last 10-15 meetings of CGC, many people were saying, wait for some time, things are going to get better because right now there is a recession. No, right now there is no recession. Why I am telling so confidently? I have seen two recessions before, 2002 and 2008. I was practically living in those recession times, and I have seen the panic, and I have seen the problems, I have seen the situation. So right now in 2024, August or last quarter of 2024, there is no recession. In 2025, the recession will come. We don't know. Last quarter of 2024, the recessions will come. We don't know. But right now, there is no recession. Will it get up soon? There are so many things which will dictate whether it is going to get better or not. So there is no easy answer to this question. But it might get better soon based on so many different external factors, nothing related to jobs or technology. It might get worse uh, if sometimes something goes wrong. We don't know external factors. It might get worse, but we have to be prepared. Even if it gets worse, we have to be prepared. This is the important question. What the job seekers can do. I'm going to address this question in next few slides. What we have to plan as a job. So these are the last two questions I'm going to address in the today's session. Many of the times my thought process is, instead of crying about the problem, we have to find out the solutions. That is my thought process. The second slide, if I go to the next one, I tried to draw a small diagram here where the jobs comes from. So whenever we are trying to address a problem, we have to find out the big picture or the root cause of the problem. Then we can easily address the solution for the problem. Majority of the jobs in present world are created by the corporations. If you look at my screen, the center point, focal point is the corporation. Everything is revolves around the corporation. There are few like 2%, 5%, 10% of the jobs which are created or dependent on non-corporations like private organizations, non-profit organizations, or the government organizations. But primarily, majority of the jobs are coming out of the corporations. The corporations can be very big corporations like Reliance, Ambani, Adani in India, or small big corporations in US like Amazon, Microsoft, Twitter, Facebook, big corporations in US like Walmart or big corporations. Where the corporations will get the money, because corporation has to give you the job. To give you the job, they need money. You need a salary, and the salary comes from where? The salary comes from the money comes to corporations from various resources. Number one is the banks. Number two is shares, and number three is sales and profits. And sometimes they exaggerate the sales and show more profits, and they show less spending. So many things they do. That's all manipulation or corruption. I can also talk about that. And if they are going to get the money from the banks, majority of the corporations will get the money from banks. Whenever they are getting the money from banks, they have to pay the interest. Second source of money for the corporations is shares. If more and more people are buying the shares of a corporation, they get a lot of money and they can invest that money to start new projects. But the investors are going to buy only if the company is doing a lot good and a lot of profits are there. Out of all these things, finally the jobs gets generated. Many of the people already know this, but I'm just trying to give you a background. If the corporation has to hire, where they can hire from? They can hire using this money. That money is coming from so many resources, right? So that's important. So I'm just giving you the background where the money comes from and how the corporations are going to hire people. Now let's go to next. What are the causes of slowness? Why the market is slow? If we understand this question, we can easily answer when the market is going to get better, when the jobs are going to come. These things we can answer ourselves, yourselves. So the primary driver is the interest rate. So that is my opinion, my understanding, my observation. Maybe I am wrong, but I'm just giving this out in open so that you all can think through, because majority of the companies needs money to run the projects, and that money comes from the loan. They get the loan from the bank, and when they go to bank, the bank says you have to pay the interest. Like 2022 or 2021, the interest rates were so low, it may be like 1%, 2% in US. Now it is 6%, 7% in US, which means in 2022, whatever the profit they used to make, now they have to make like three times more profit in 2024 if they want to start a new project. So what the company will do, if the project is a lot of profitable, definitely they are going to start another project and get the money from the bank. If the project is not profitable, if they cannot prove that project is profitable, they cannot go to bank first of all. Even if they go, they are not going to get the money from the bank. So what they do, they just keep the project on side or say, we will do it later when we get the money at cheaper interest rate. So that is the primary driver. That is my assumption. If you agree, it is up to you. If you don't agree, that's fine. Second source of money in 2021, 22, or maybe 23, the American companies were receiving a lot of stimulus funds. Even the Indian and other countries also, some governments were giving the money to keep the people employed, to keep the businesses running. For example, a lot of planes were not
చెప్పండి అన్న.
operating. Even though the planes were not operating, the airline companies were operating using the money given by the government. So when the companies were receiving so much of a stimulus money, they were hiring more people than they really need. So what happened? There was a jobs surge. Too many people were employed. A lot of people don't even have a technology, don't even have an experience. They were getting the jobs, they were getting the offers. And here I can say a word more than what they can chew. So, for example, in your mouth, you can have like two biscuits, and you are putting four biscuits. You cannot chew, right? You can keep them in your mouth. You cannot chew. Same thing was happening when they have hired a lot of people. They were not able to handle that a huge workforce. In 2024, they started firing people. Who fired? Twitter, Google, Amazon, Facebook, all the big companies fired 10,000 or more than 10,000 people they have fired, which created a panic among the job markets. And the small companies always hire people based on how many people the big companies are hiring. Big companies are hiring means there may be some new requirement, and for that new requirement, you need new people. For example, the Wipro or TCS or all these consulting companies, even in America, there are a lot of consulting companies. They hire people if the big companies are hiring, because these consulting companies are going to send their workforce to the small companies will send the people to big companies as a consultant. And if the big company is not hiring, small companies are not really interested to hire people. Overall, the job market goes down, and when the job market goes down, the salaries go down. So a lot of competition happens within the candidates, right? When it comes to US market in 2023, maybe 22, the US consulates across the world, especially in India, they have given a lot of visas, F1 visas to students, and too many students came to US. And why they have given so many visas? Because during the COVID, these all universities were starving for the funds. So they have given a lot of visas so that universities will flourish. But it created a lot of panic among the job seekers because there was a lot of workforce available in US. So that is US market, right? We'll go to next. What are the other reasons why the market is slow? Many of the websites, online opinions, newspapers, everyone is saying the market is going bad because of artificial intelligence. I don't agree with that, because I'm working in the office and I'm talking to people who are other people working in the office. None of them are using AI or artificial intelligence. If the companies are using artificial intelligence, it may be 1%, 2%, 5%, not more than 5%, which means 95% of the jobs are still intact. In 5, 10 years, it might eat up 50% of the jobs. We don't know. But as of now, in 2024, last quarter, there are no artificial intelligence technologies which are eating up the jobs. There is a small portion of the jobs which were being taken away due to artificial intelligence. But the hype created in the media, hype created in the newspapers, hype created everywhere is not real. It is hype. It is just a rumor. The other problem in current times is like 1 or 2 years ago, everyone was working remote. And today, the senior people are really interested to work from home. Even if they are not getting the job, they are not joining the job which requires them to go to office. And the people who are juniors, especially the women with the small children, they are also preferring to get a job only if it is a work from home. Even if they are getting a job to go to office, they are saying, okay, I'll try something else. So this is the trend right now. Majority of the people are looking for a job which is remote. On the other side, the companies are not really interested to give the remote jobs to new people. If someone is already working remote, let them work. But if I am giving a new job, if I am hiring a new employee, They are saying, no, I'm not going to give you remote. At least 1 or 2 days, at least 2, 3 days, you have to come to office. Some companies are saying, okay, come 5 days in office. I want to see you 5 days in office. That's all. So that's why there is a friction between the employee and the employer, or job seekers and the hiring managers, remote versus non-remote. And here in US, what happened is many of the people, they have bought their homes far away from the metropolitan cities because the houses are cheaper in those places, and they are not really willing to come back to office because offices are vacant, buildings are vacant, and all the small businesses are losing the money. Even the government also saying, no, you have to start bringing people to your offices so that the businesses is going to run. So there is a lot of friction happening. It is like a transition period, and where it is going to settle, we don't know. But that is another reason there is a lot of disruption in terms of job market. Uh, Here in US right now, it's an election year, and like few months ago there was an election in India. So everywhere the election season, so there is an uncertainty. If the company wants to start a new project, they might see how the things will unfold during the election and what the election result will come. Republicans versus Democrats versus the Indian government, present government versus future government. Everywhere there is uncertainty, and if a new project has to be started, they will wait for the government policies, because each ruler have a different policy. Each political party has a different policies. So that is another reason. So once the election year is done in US, things might change. It is going to get better or worse, we don't know, but things might change. One other thing is few wars across the
It
world
is
are
actually
happening.
very simple to make more than 3 lakhs per month from the comfort of your home by selling what you already know.
All right. So we can remove that person, Wahid bhai. They can give their knowledge to somewhere else. Okay. So the geopolitical issues are happening. So there are some wars are happening across the world. And so these are the things. New projects are not going to start in this world right now because some level of uncertainty is there. All right. Uh, so because of all these reasons, there is too much pressure. The pressure is managers are pressurized by the higher level uh, ownership or directors. What they are telling is you have to extract more work from the existing workforce without hiring new people. That is the pressure on managers. The corporate executives are having a pressure. They have to manage the finances, right? They cannot get new loans. They cannot generate more shares. So they have to manage the existing money, whatever they have, to fulfill the project needs or the company needs. Low level workers are being uh, uh, pressurized because they have to do more work. The company, for example, in company there used to be like 4 people. Now there are only two. The work has to be completed. So those 2 people are completing the work of 4 people. So there is again a pressure. Sometimes this pressure comes when they do some kind of a exaggeration. So if the company is executing less number of projects, what they will do is they are going to exaggerate. Even if they have like $100,000, they'll say, no, I have $400,000. And to show those $400,000, they have to produce some more work or do something. And at the government level, there will be some kind of a lobbying. They are trying to get more projects. And government says, no, not going to give you. Again, there will be some corruption and all those things. Other type of corruption is people are going to say, I'm working from home, but I'm not working from home. I'm saying I'm working from home, but I'm doing two different works or two different jobs. So a lot of things are in movement or friction right now. It is like a transition period again. And recently, the Infosys chairman, the Narayan Murthy, said the youth has to work like 60 hours a week or 80 hours a week. It became a big controversial statement. All these things are happening. Again, somewhere there is a reason, somewhere there is a rumor, and all these things. Here in US, if people want to work, they have a visa constraints, but people are working in India, they don't have any visa constraints. Anyone can work everywhere. One other last thing I'm going to mention in this slide is many of the people in senior level positions, they are expecting more salary because of the seniority, because of their family needs, and companies are not willing to give them more salary. So what they are doing is they are just firing the people. If someone is too much experienced, the company is firing, and those people are not getting the job. I know like 4 or 5 people in my known circle, they are out of job for 3 months, 6 months, and finally after 6 months they got a second job, and their second salary is 30% or 20% or 40% less than what they used to earn. So within that less salary, they have to maintain the family. Like for example, they have 3 children, a big house, lot of bills to pay. Everything has to be managed with that smaller income compared to what they used to earn before. Why the companies are firing them? Because company don't want to hire people whose salary is high. But at the same time, the company is not really interested to hire the freshers who are going to work for like peanuts. So what the companies are doing is they are trying to hire people with less experience, 3 years experience, 4 years experience, 6 years experience, not 15 years of experience, but at the same time, they don't want the college graduates too. So this is the situation. I'm just trying to explain what's happening right now. Okay, now what to do next? So because we can talk a lot about what's happening, this is happening, that is happening, but what to do? Action item is important. So the action item is focus on a career, not the job. So the first bullet point I'm trying to emphasize here is you have to focus on a career. What is career and what is job? What is the difference between career and a job? We have to understand this important point. The important point is you are going to have a career for next 50 years, maybe 30 years, but you're not going to have the same exact same job for next 5 years, next 3 years. Many people are either leaving the job within 2 3 years, or the companies are firing them within 2 3 years. So what we have to focus is the career. What is the difference between focusing on career versus focusing on the job? I need a job. What I will do, I learn some technology A, B, C, D, and I'm going to find a job. Once I find the job, I feel comfortable, I stop learning. If I stop learning, I'm not going to find any more new jobs. That's it. Then what happens? My career is ruined. Career is for next 15, 20, 30 years, which is going to be spoiled. Because I got a job, I'm thinking my job is a career. No, it is not a career. Your job is a temporary stage. It's like a one stage in a big journey. For example, I'm going from Hyderabad to Delhi, or I'm going to Washington DC to Florida, Washington DC to California by road. In between, I'm going to stop 2 3 5 different places if I'm driving by myself in a car. Otherwise, if I'm going by a train, the train is going to stop. So each job is a stop. Place A to place B is a stop. Place B, maybe there is traffic jam, I'm going to stop there. Maybe I'm going to make another different route, different road, different route. So that is what the job is. If we are not prepared to take another route, then we are going to be stuck and we don't know where we are. So that's what happens. Your career is a long term plan and your job is a short term plan. You can do any job today, and within 2 3 years, 5 years, you might change your job, and you have to be prepared for that. And how you are going to be prepared? You have to learn the technologies. And technology wise, these days, majority of the job seekers are not really interested to learn any technology. They want an easy job. Easy job means low hanging fruit. And everyone wants the low hanging fruit. No one wants the high hanging fruit. So those who prepare for a high hanging fruit, for example, someone is learning a programming language. It can be any programming language. It can be R, Java, Python, .NET, or any other programming language, or a database technology like a SQL. Anything similar, if you learn the technology, you have a long-term job because it's a high-hanging fruit many of the people don't want. So right now, because of the slowness in the job market, if you are not able to find a job, Spend your time to learn the technology for the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Whenever the job market becomes better, you are the first person to receive that job offer compared to all those people who are keep crying but doing nothing. So you have to decide whether you are going to be in the team of people who are crying and doing nothing, or you are the person who are utilizing the opportunity and preparing for tomorrow. So you have to do that. Next thing, what you can do right now, the action item, project. So you have to do a project. If you are a UI person, do a project in UI. If you are a graphical designer, do some projects in graphical design. If you are a programmer or a developer, develop some project. If you are a database person, develop some extraordinary database uh, with too many joins, tables, a lot of database objects. So showcase your work, because your resume is show off. Your resume is going to say I can do this, but you have to showcase your work and upload your work to GitHub and say that this is my work. If you give me an opportunity, I can do this. Utilize the opportunity. If the job market is slow, use this time, do some projects and do some certifications. Whatever the technology you do some certifications. Each certification these days is valid at least for 1 or 2 years. So whenever the job market becomes hot, whenever the jobs become available, you can simply get into a job without any big hassle. So prepare yourself. That is the action item I can give out of this session today. Prepare your resume and review your resume. Prepare your LinkedIn profile. And these days, majority of the resumes are being scanned using the artificial intelligence. In recruitment world, people are not sitting there and reading the resume line by line. So my advice is prepare a strong resume by learning more technologies, doing more certifications, and prepare a strong LinkedIn profile. So all these things you can do because the job market is bad. If the job market is bad, what I have to do? Do these things. These are the bullet points. Focus on your career long term, learn technologies, do projects, upload your projects, showcase your work, prepare your resume, review your resume with a senior person. So if you are working in technology A, find out who is the senior person in the technology, ask them to review a resume and see what is missing. If something is missing, don't blindly add, learn that. For example, people who are working in Java, they need a Gradle, they need a Maven, and they don't know Maven. Don't simply add another keyword in your resume, but learn Maven, do some practice, then add it to your LinkedIn, add it to your on naukri.com profile, and make sure your resume is perfect. When the market is bad, prepare your resume, and when market becomes better, you can use the opportunity and find another job. Am I clear, right? Let's go to next slide. So what is the best plan? Okay, so now you have your resume ready, LinkedIn profile ready, market is bad, but think about, you are applying for a job. You have found some job in a WhatsApp group or a Facebook or a LinkedIn or a Naukri or Dice, a Monster, somewhere you found a job. Now you are applying for the job. Don't apply a job without thinking through properly. What happens is, because the market is bad, because they are receiving too many resumes and too many emails, you have to write your email, you have to craft your email carefully, reading line by line, word by word. Make sure they are going to at least call you for the interview, because they are not calling everyone for the interview. If there is one job, earlier they used to receive 10 resumes, just an example, hypothetical. Now they are receiving 100. So what they have to do? They have to do a lot of work to filter your resume. So if your resume is appealing, if your words are appealing, if your email is appealing, then they might call you for the interview, right? If they are not going to call for interview, you're not going to get the job. So the second bullet point, what I'm telling is, the email subject must be compelling, appealing, right? They have to click on that email. Once you send the email, They have to say, I have to click this. I have received like 50 emails. Out of 50, maybe I'm clicking only three. And those three, out of three, one has to be my email, right? So these are the simple things you can do when the things are not going in your favor. And another question a lot of people were asking in last 3 to 6 months was, where are the jobs? In which sector there are a lot of jobs? Even if not today, after 1 year, 2 years, in which sector we are going to see more and more jobs? And I spoke to multiple recruiters, professional recruiters, before preparing this presentation, and they clearly told they are not able to find the candidates if there is a job opening which is related to either cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science. So these four areas where the candidates are not available even in this bad market. So what we can do is we can prepare ourselves. And one other thing I just wanted to clarify here: cybersecurity is not a technology. Artificial intelligence is not a technology. Machine learning is not a technology. Data science is not a technology. These are the concepts. Within cybersecurity, there are so many different types of jobs, so many different types of technologies. Artificial intelligence can be achieved using so many different programming languages. Machine learning can happen using so many different set of technologies and tools. Data science might deal with the MongoDB, Oracle, MySQL, many different technologies. So all these four are cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science is not a technology. It's not a tool so that you can learn in 15 days or 3 months and become an expert. So you can pick and choose what you want to do in those four areas and prepare yourself. You might find a job right now, but in long run, in 3 to 5 years, you are going to witness many of the jobs in these four areas, but you are going to get a job only if you are the master. All right. Many of the times people are giving, even if you search on internet what to do, get a job, upskill yourself, upgrade yourself, adopt new things, new technologies. This is the keyword. But no one will tell you what is the meaning of upskill. Upskill means find out which technology is being used right now and try to leave the technologies which are not being used in all the companies. And if something new comes, adopt that. I'm working in Java side. So, for example, in 2003, there used to be a new concept called struts. So I learned struts. I don't know what is struts. I learned struts and I was able to get a job, and that job was there for last like 3, 4 years, 5 years or something. Then slowly company started moving towards cloud and I had to work in cloud. Then company started using Spring. I started using Spring. So what I mean to say is every time something new comes and I have to adopt that. If I don't adapt, what happens? I will be out of the job. As I said, my career is ruined. I have a job. Job is temporary, career is long term. So if you want to be in the career, you have to adopt new things, you have to upgrade yourself, find out what's going on in the market, find out what is the new trend, what is the new technology, learn the technology, and be in your career. Uh, as I said, automation or artificial intelligence, it is a rumor right now. So don't pay attention to rumors. But if you can do some automation, if you can learn some artificial intelligence, if you can do some machine learning, definitely it is going to give you a job. And once you join the job, they might not be using that much of a automation. That's fine. But you should be in a position to say, I can do the automation, I can do the machine learning, I can do the artificial intelligence using whatever the favorite technologies you have. Last point here, try to choose a job series or a career option which cannot be easily automated. If you are already in a job which can be easily automated, you have to leave that job earliest possible. For example, I am a driver. And what I'm doing is I'm running the Uber, I'm running the like a DoorDash or something. After 5 years, after 10 years, if there will be automated cars, Uber drivers will be out of job. If the drones are going to deliver the food, all the Swiggy drivers all the Zomato drivers will be out of the job. So we have to prepare ourselves. If we are in any field, it may be technology, non-technology, which can be automated right now or next 5 years, you have to quickly and easily try to change yourself, mold yourself, adopt something new, and move out of, because your job is going to become automated soon. So that's all I have today. Uh, you can stop the recording, Wahid bhai. Wahid? Yeah, you can stop the recording.